Right, so Spannenberg, who's got a lot of chips there now. He saw him as the chip leader for the feature table. He's picked up conservative spots, been very tight. Again, we say, as we've said a number of times before, is it possible this man is going to make 5 final tables at the All Africa, Ryan? It's extraordinary stuff.
And you can see there Tony Silva folding ace-9 at this late stage of the tournament. Doesn't want to get involved, you know. And again, like I said, every time you get involved, even with a stack of 150 or 200,000, you know, if you get involved with a hand like ace-9, you know, it could mean you're going to be put to a decision.
Well, Brouwer, Kojak.
So King Jack now for Brouwer. He realizes that you also remember that the range of raising hands here can be a little bit wider because they're only playing 7-handed, I think.
And also the stacks allow for it. At this point, you can raise with a wider range simply because you know it's more expensive for guys to call. So they've got to reconsider their spots a lot easier. As you said in the earlier episode, you know, when you raise to 1,000, it's slightly different to re-raising to 100,000. Anyway, so Brouwer, King Jack, 23 on top.
Ooh, here we go. 2 back.
Is that 2 queens, Ron?
That is 2 queens.
And 2 back snap all in. This time he does really have a hand.
So Chubak obviously lost a couple of hands in between now, but it's only 56,000 for Brouwer to call. I think now getting at almost 3-1 on this pot, I think you will see Ryan Brouwer make this call.
Yep.
As badly as he probably doesn't want to, and he didn't want to see that happen. I think you will see him make this call just for the price, and it's not going to be for his tournament life. Yeah, you can see his stacks there. He's got over 100,000.
Right, so Ryan Brouwer, aggressive in early position with King Jack, gets found out in the later positions by queens, by Chubak. Chubak been playing very solid, very tight. Brouwer will know that. But he'll also know that the price is right.
I think he's going to be hoping he's up against a hand like Ace-Queen, where he's not dominated, maybe a pair of 10s, you know, those kind of hands. And, you know, at least he feels like it's a 50-50 race in that situation. But when he sees queens and he sees he only has 1 overcard, he's not going to be too happy if he does make the call here.
Right, so 56,000 chips. It's a big number. It's a big number at this stage. He's counted them out. He's chopped them down.
Just trying to see what he's got left. Not too bad, Dave. He's still got, looks like 4 stacks of 20. There's 80 plus the 50 in greys. So I think after he makes the call, you'll still have 130,000. So pretty much where he was at the start of this session. So I think you'll definitely see him make the call, yeah.
And the truth is, if he wins the pot, he's pushing the 400 gram mark.
Yeah, if he wins the pot, he's definitely up to in a good spot.
There it is. It's all in call. Put the lights on. Get the lights going. Chubak's in for his life with queens. The pot is 214,000. Chubak needs this pot to stay alive. Brouwer wants this pot to become one of the aggressors in the tournament again. Marcos, one guy that can deal very scary boards. Everybody out of their chairs.
Queen.
Ace, 7, 8. No good for Brouwer now. Chubak shouting for a queen to lock it up, but a queen brings the straight at this point. 6. Now Brouwer dead to 3 kings.
3 kings for Brouwer.
A 10 on the river will not do it. And Chubak, who hasn't played a hand for almost all the last 2 episodes, has now found the much needed double up to 214. Brouwer just over the 100k mark. Brouwer, one of the chip leaders for almost the entire tournament. He's in trouble.
Let's take a break, Dave.
Now, a word from our sponsors.
So welcome back to Pigs Peak Hotel and Casino here in Swaziland. It's down to the nitty-gritty of the All Africa Poker Tournament.
Well, one thing about Ryan Brouwer, as short as he could ever get, they could never discount him until the last chip is gone. Ryan, I've seen it too many times with Brouwer where he's barely got the big blind. And somehow, some way, he comes back from the dead and goes on not only to cash, but to win. I've seen it at Emerald City. He had the big blind covered by about 2 and went on to win the tournament. It was extraordinary stuff. And like I said, he's one player that if he's got one chip or all the chips, he's not out of the tournament.
Yeah, he's always He's always a feature, so you always have to look out for Ryan Brower, and you definitely don't want to give him chips. He's dangerous with the short stack.
Silver, King Queen, their first raise. Two-back, who's been involved in this episode, all of a sudden now picks up ace 10. Now he's getting a bit of a rush of cards all of a sudden. He's set and he's set and he's set. And now the deck's kind of hitting him, Ryan.
Well, I think you'll see him fold this, Dave. I don't think I mean, you see how tight he's played, and he's not going to get involved with ace 10 now after just winning a nice pot and getting all those chips. Not going to give them away with the handers.
I mean, you're right, but at some point, he wasn't even picking up an ace. So, I think sitting in his chair, you just feel like you're kind of warming up. You've picked up a big pot, you're getting 200, now you're getting 2 picture cards, you're picking up queens. It's a lot to do with mentality and your own sort of emotions at the table. A lot of the time when you see 9-4 offsuit and Jack-3 offsuit, you start getting defeated simply because now you want to get involved and you can't. Whereas now he's got the option of actually choosing to get involved, which is a lovely spot.
Yeah, definitely changes your outset.
Right, so Mavrodoros, we've seen him think about a lot of hands. Most of the time he's given them up, as he will on this occasion. Spannenberg, who's got a little bit shorter during the course of the episode, now he picks up a nice pair of 9s. Is it a call situation?
Yeah, I think he has to call with, at this stage, I think Dave was in the big blind, so he'll make the call for 20,000 and try peel off a 9.
Silver looks over at his opponent. The board, ace, 8-2. That ace will worry Dave somewhat. Does he bet into it to see where he's going?
Very tough spot when you've got to play this hand out of position, even though he might have the best hand.
Well, it looks like Dave might be going with David Daddick on this option. I think he wants to find out right now exactly whether he's in trouble here. He's going to lead out with, in what his mind is, at least second pair.
Looks like 35,000 that he's got in his hand.
And Silver, who's played pretty tight. Silver hasn't made many moves, Ryan, so if Silver comes back at him, he'll give him respect, but it also will take some doing for Silver to do that, because he hasn't done any of that in the tournament to date. So it's 45,000 into Silver, and Silver is looking like it's time for him to start showing some poker skills. He's asking Dave for a count now. That's going to worry Dave Spannenberg.
Hand plays itself.
Dave Spannenberg is getting a count. He doesn't like the sound of that, I'm sure.
Tony now is going to decide. Either he's going to put Dave in, but does Dave have that ace? Would Dave lead out without an ace in the situation? I mean, he does only have king high with no draws. I think as much as the show is, I think Silver, he's gonna like sort of act like he's folding a pair of queens or something to this bet. But I think it's a great bet by Spannenberg.
I like the play. I really like this play.
It's a great bet from Spannenberg, and it's going to win him the pot, I do believe.
That's what the experience at this level shows, Ryan. He's been in this spot more times than anybody in this room, and mostly anybody in the tournament as it happens. He's been in this spot so many times, and the experience factor counts for so much. This situation won't overwhelm David Spannenberg as it may do the other guys that have been here for their first or maybe their second times. Dave won't get caught out, but he'll be putting on the aggression, be playing his normal game because he's been here so many times. And now Silver, with king high, cannot play back at Spannenberg, and Spannenberg picks up a nice pot.
Oh my lord.
And Dave shows the pair of 9s.
And Zakhem in the background going, oh my lord, well played. Yes, you're right.
And Chubak sitting there going, I wish I'd played my ace 10.